Sorry, a bit dark. Rather late, can't sleep. You might want to sit back a bit. I've got COVID. I mean, it's fine. It's fine. I'm days into it, and I was fully jabbed up. So it's man COVID, isn't it? But it's leaving me a bit fussy actually, and possibly as a result, possibly because I've got to get my voice right. Possibly because I'm too fuzzy to stop myself. I want to show you something that's, well, it's useful for a writing, or I wouldn't take up your, probably wouldn't take up your time. But also, maybe in this specific instance, it's a bit daft. I want to show you regular expressions, and more often known as RegEx. It's not daft. Okay, let's be clear on that. RegEx, it's very serious, it's very useful, very powerful. But what is daft is me trying to tell you anything about it. Because if you already know RegEx, right, well, you will not learn a single pixel from me. And if you don't happen to know RegEx in the slightest, you still won't really learn anything, not directly. You'll see what it is. That's important. You'll see also how you can use other people's RegEx codes. Very generous, very clever other people, and there are loads of them around, to do things to fix problems with your text. Though I should also say this, which I was told by a writer just really recently. If you have a problem with your text, a problem in your writing on the screen and the page, and you choose to solve it using RegEx, well, then now you have two problems. Really? Honestly, RegEx, COVID, I thought you'd be gone, but you're stuck with me. Thank you. Thanks for your company. Okay. I'm William Gallagher, and this is 58 Keys, which, as ever, it's, as always, really, it's for writers, isn't it? For writers like you and me, who use and who write on Macs and iPhones and iPads. Do subscribe, because there's so much to talk about, and usually the voice is clearer. Look, RegEx, right? Let's just do this straight out. It's like, if you don't know, it's a bionic search and replace that uses these little codes to pull off, well, magic. Examples. Say you're British, as I am, and your novel happens to feature a lot of dates. In British English, the 10th of August 2022 is written as 10/8/22. Often. But you want to send your manuscript to a US publisher, and in the States, the same date is typically written as, isn't it, it's 8/10/22 month, and yeah, your normal find and replace can't help. Well, I mean, it might help you with one thing, but it can't find every date and switch every day and month. RegEx can. With the right series of RegEx codes, you can instantly convert all of your dates. And I mean instantly. Or something else, actually, tell you what, I forget numbers. Maybe you're used to using normal search and replace to change, other way around, from American to British English. In America, the piece of paper you write money things on, it's a check, CHECK. In the UK, it's check, CHEQUE. I can still spell. You could use normal search and replace to find every occurrence of the US spelling check and replace it with the British version check. Except, you know where this is going. It gets you sentences like this. Remember to check all the locks, said William. That's actually a harder one. But with RegEx, you could say that you want this change to happen except when the word check, American spelling, comes in any sentence that has speech marks at either end. You could do that. All you need to know are the right RegEx codes. And I will tell you right now, I don't know the codes to do that one. I'd struggle with the date one as well, but I think I've done something like it before. The thing is, it doesn't matter. Neither of us need to know enough RegEx to create these codes ourselves. We can, and you may get so into it that you really enjoy doing it, but neither of us needs to. I understand RegEx enough to know how it works, and I recognize a lot of the codes that it uses. But in my writing, and also in my writing business, I have needed RegEx fewer than a handful of times in my entire 30 odd years of doing this. And each time when I do need it, I cheat. Let me show you, okay, with an actual problem I'm thinking about. Now, it's been occupying me a while, I've not been doing very well. Here is the list of the top 100 rock, pop, and possibly country albums, I'm not sure yet, as voted for by listeners to BBC Radio 2 some time ago. I don't know when. Don't really care. I'm not even particularly fussed that it's BBC Radio listeners. I am, as it happens, concerned that my music tastes are too narrow. I have Apple Music, I can listen to anything I like, but I tend to listen to the same things over and over. So I want something to break me out of that. Rolling Stone magazine's famously done top 500 albums in various genres, I think, but that's too much for me. I just did a search online, found this BBC top 100 list, I'll take it, that'll do. Except I really don't care about the sequence. It means nothing to me which of these is number 1 and which is number 100. I just want a list of these albums. I might take out the ones I already know, chuck the rest in my to-do app, and maybe be reminded to give a listen to one of them once a week, once a month or something. So this list, I want the list, I don't want the numbers. Also, actually, indulge me for a second, because as it happens, I also don't want those dashes. Partly because it looks ugly there, I don't happen to like them. But also, just between you and me, because it's going to help us in a minute. Let me use regular search and replace to swap the dashes for a colon. Let me be really specific here, because we need to be. To get what I want, rid of the dashes, in with the colons, I need to tell Pages, and in this case I'll use Pages, to search for a space followed by a dash followed by another space, and then to replace every one of that trio with a colon and a space. Done. Much nicer, I think. But now the proper stuff, the reason we're here. Look at the numbers in this list. It's number, space, artist's name. But I can't just do search and replace on a number followed by a space. I can't mimic the same normal search. Well, actually, in some writing apps, not Pages, but some, I could search for a wildcard character. I could search for question mark space, and that would find, in the right apps, would find any single digit, or really actually any single character, letter or number, and then followed by a space and then replace it. And that's fine for 1 to 9. It's useless for 10 to 100. I could search question mark space, and that would be fine for 100 to 999, but it would be useless from 1 to 99. Yeah, just no. I know there's a RegEx code that means find any number that is 1, 2, or 3 digits long and is followed by a space. And actually, here it is. It was right on the tip of your tongue, wasn't it? I'll tell you where it really was, for me in any way case. It was on this site. There are countless other RegEx sites in the world, but that happens to be the one that I found for this, and actually it looks very useful. That site gave me exactly the RegEx codes I need for this job. I'll put a link in the description too. It took me, even in my fuddled state, maybe 5 entire minutes searching to find it. I mean, because I knew what I wanted helped, but this is what I always do. Figure out what I want, realize at some point that RegEx is actually the answer, then search for someone who's done it or something similar to it and listed it generously on their website. There really are generous and very clever people in this world, and I think they all have websites about RegEx. Anyway, I popped that code. I did it in a shortcut. Actually, you can do RegEx in Pages, but shortcuts will let me show you the steps. Let me show you it in action. So here's that list of albums now. Now we run the shortcut, and here's the finished list. Simple as that. I can now take that and paste it into my to-do app, or really into anywhere I like. Completely different example now. Totally thing, except it's another writing example. It's another case of my needing RegEx and piecing together the codes from, in this case, it was multiple examples online. It took me a while, this one. But also, many places, and I did it so long ago that I can't find one site. I'll paste my own tweaked version of the RegEx code for it in the description, and it will look like I've been really clever. Okay, work with me. Once or twice a week, right, I have this job with a particular client. It means I have to go through some legal documents. And in one part of that document is a list of writers, but it's not really a list. It's one long paragraph with name after name after name. It can be one, can be 15, I don't know. And each one of the names is interrupted by brackets, and within the brackets, a location where that person is based. I just want the names though. And I want them in an actual list so that I can then step through researching, if necessary, each person with a swift online search, and as it happens in a particular legal database. Done. Doing that leaves me with the names in the format that this particular database likes. I know that I could go further and I could get RegEx to reverse it so that I have first name, initial and surname. Though again, actually right now, this minute, I haven't the faintest idea how I'd do it. If I need to at some point, I'll just search online again. Another one, I can't show you this one because it's about my business details and things, but just as an example of something else you can do, I use RegEx every working day to take bank details, bank number, account details out of a spreadsheet and put them into a report like thing. It's taking the numbers, put them into a new form, rearrange, doing all sorts of things. And it took me longer to create that RegEx. I know it began with one I found online. It didn't end with it. I had to figure it out myself in the end, and you do get into it enough that that's actually fun. But the thing is, that was a lot of effort 4-5 years ago, and now I use it every single working day. Effort then pays off now, and more than just the convenience of doing something quickly, the fact that it's quick, the fact that RegEx will just do it, it means I do it every day. I don't put it off because there's not time. I can do it every day. I do it every day, and that's an accounts thing, and I'm a freelance businessman. It helps me stay on top of my business working stuff just because of RegEx. A little effort now. Okay, sometimes a lot of effort, but it's worth it. I know if you didn't already know it, I know you now see the benefit of RegEx. And I know that at some point you are going to have a situation in which, a writing situation in which RegEx is actually the solution. For now though, just remember that it exists and that there are cleverer people out there who can tell you more about it, and that they also have a lot of the answers you want online. And don't listen to me when I tell you how incredibly satisfying you feel when it works, especially if you've had to adjust it. You'd never get any writing done if you knew how useful, how fun. Anyway, hopefully by the time you see this, I'll be over a little man COVID thing I've got. But right now, thanks for being with me while I rambled on. That's it for this edition, 58 Keys. I am so very strongly contemplating ice cream. You take care of you take better care of yourself than I have, okay? Just write more. I can't. You can. Write more. And I'll see you soon. Jeez, it makes you dizzy.